We're going to have a great energy policy. You know, our oil prices are coming down very substantially, energy prices. We have a very simple policy, right, Chris? Drill, baby, drill. And natural gas production is booming. Coal mining is up by 2.4 million tons a month. And we're also reviving Pennsylvania manufacturing. And with our historic tariffs, steel production is roaring back.
So now, President Trump, last night, the rally in Pennsylvania, there will be more, we are told, by way of Susie Wiles, highlighting his efforts to energize the economy. I want to bring in former West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. Senator, where have you been? Good morning to you. And
hey, Bill, how are you and Dana doing?
Yeah, we're
terrific. Happy holidays.
And to you as well, and a Merry Christmas. All right, here, they've got some things to brag about, all right? Here's one of them. Gas prices, 36 states now under $3 a gallon. They can talk about the big, beautiful bill, January 1, with the tax cuts in 2026, the deregulation on fuel standards, interest rate cuts, again, a third one likely this afternoon. They've got some things to show for it. How do you see it, Senator, right now?
You know, what I would like for the president to do is just say, listen, we've stabilized things. We are more stable now than we've ever been for a long time. Prices have not truly, for the staples of America, people that I know and work every day, they don't have a portfolio. They're not looking at how well their stocks have done. They're looking at basically what their electric bill is, what their natural gas bill to heat their home or cool their home. They're looking at what their food bills are being, what their rent they're paying, or their payment on their home and their insurances. They're looking at the staples of life. How do I continue to maintain a quality of life? They're not seeing drastic cuts. I talk to people all over the country. They're not seeing the drastic cuts. They they got confidence, it's stabilized. That's where the president should be. American people aren't stupid. They really aren't. And the trade, the tariffs, I think tariffs are needed if they're used constructively. And I've said that before. You protect your building blocks, you use them as incentives. Well, if we've been taken advantage of and the president's making those corrections, all this money that they're saying that we're so rich because of tariffs, why do we have to now give it all away? $12 billion to farmers. We're going to send $2,000 checks to everybody. No one's talking about the $38 trillion debt. That's where this president, our president, President Trump, could go down in history of basically getting our financial house in order, because we're going to hit the wall, and we'll hit it hard when the finances of this country become unmanageable.
One of the things that I think is the president is trying to do is to say, look, a lot of this started under Biden. And I just remember this from Hakeem Jeffries. This was on February 21st of last year about egg prices. Watch.
The reality is House Republicans and Donald Trump and Senate Republicans have no interest in bringing down the high cost of living. Costs aren't going down, they are going up. The price of eggs in the United States of America is out of control.
That says February 13th. So it's a little galling, right? Because they wouldn't admit that egg prices were up under Biden. Egg prices now are back down. So there's a little bit of a lag time. When you think about the big, beautiful bill, and what the president was saying last night is just give us a little bit of time. A lot of these benefits are coming after January. Do you think that that will bear out?
Well, I hope it does. I mean, I really do. First of all, we were overregulated. I've always said that. When we did, I know the president doesn't like the IRA. It should have been called, I should have named that bill the Energy Security Act, because we produce more energy. The Biden administration didn't want to produce any fossil whatsoever, but we had to have it. When Putin declared war on Ukraine, he used the energy as a weapon, and it made it very hard for our allies to be able to survive. We weren't producing the energy that we could and we should. We started. That's why that bill done. The BBB bill, the Build Back Beautiful bill, was a horrible situation. We'd have spent money on more social, if you will, socializing our economy. I thought that was wrong. And on the president's BBB bill, President Trump's BBB bill, I thought there was a chance to realign our financial, because we're in bad shape there. So with that, I think if he just says, hey, listen, we have stabilized. We're going to get things back in order, but it's going to take time. COVID screwed up the whole world. It really messed up America. It got people thinking, how much more can my country do for me? John Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country, which I still believe. And we have to make sure everyone's back in a productive mode. And we got to take all these shackles off. There's too many regulations. It just made it very difficult.
But they're working
the
on
tariffs,
that.
You got to be very careful.
They're getting rid of a lot of those regulations. I'm just to come back to the point that they would say that you guys started it, meaning the Democrats. I mean, you voted for the Inflation Reduction Act.
I wrote most of it. Bill, I wrote most of the Inflation Reduction Act because I wanted to have energy. We've produced more energy in 2023 than ever in the history of our country. But that's not what the Biden administration wanted. They wanted more renewables. Well, we can go ahead and invest in new technology, but we had to start producing. And the President Trump has kept that going. Okay? We need an all-in energy policy. And that's what we're doing, and I'm appreciative of that. But yes, Bill, I'm not a Democrat anymore. I'm an independent.
I remember when
I love
the switch
people on
came.
both sides.
Yeah, I get it. Right on.
I want to work with both sides. But the bottom line is.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. We're going to stay in touch with you, and we'll see you. We'll get a read from you back in West Virginia.
I'm hoping the president calms down. We need our president to calm down a little bit. He can't be attacking everybody all the time. We're the United States of America, and we need a leader who wants to keep us united. I know he can do it. I'm praying that he does. And I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Senator. Right on. Thanks for coming back. Joe Manchin.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.